Hello, and welcome back to Social with Solomon. I'm your host, Solomon Miller, and for our next and final guest on this show, I'd like to welcome a teacher of mine that I've had for most of my high school experience. He's been here at ORHS for 8 years, is the volleyball coach and broadcasting teacher here, and is the reason this video looks so good. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. David Kolodny.
Let's do this thing.
Welcome to the show, Mr.
Oh,
Kolodny.
it's so good to be here.
So I brought you onto this interview to just sort of interview you about your life, goals, and the impact you believe you've made as a teacher.
What better to talk about than me?
So first off, give us a rundown of who you are and what you have achieved so far in your life.
Well, what I've achieved is a tough question, but I am Dave Kolodny. I teach broadcasting here. I'm the volleyball coach here. I'm the CTE department chair here, and that's my professional achievements, I guess. I've got a family, I've got kids, that's my personal achievement, and, millions and millions of motivated students across the world.
Wow. So, what exactly do you do at ORHS, and what do you do for events orchestrated by it?
So I teach broadcasting, right? So it's about communication and storytelling, and so we work on that in my classes. I coach volleyball, so it's about winning and making sure that we have a successful season and a great team. And then I just try to help with whatever else needs to be helped around the school or the district. We film board meetings, we film graduation, things like that. So I keep busy, but it's a lot of fun.
Interesting. So, do you like what you do?
I do. I think it's fun to be around kids. Kids are always interesting. It's always different. I think that teaching is always an adventure. So you never know what the day is going to look like. Even when you plan for something, always expect the unexpected. So it keeps it fresh. It keeps it new. I feel like I've been in high school for the last 11 years now. So I'm either the dumbest student or the one who made the best choices. That was funny. You're correct.
Do you have any worries or doubts or even any fears about any of these duties, perchance?
I don't worry or doubt them. I don't think there's anything to be scared of. You have to be flexible. You have to be ready to expect the unexpected and roll with it as things come up. So as long as you're willing to do those things, I don't think there's anything to fear.
So why do you think students who, join your classes should be all pumped up to work with you?
Well, I think the classes are super fun. So it's different every day. You get a lot of freedom of choice. It's not one of those classes where I tell you exactly what you have to do. So if you enjoy creativity, if you enjoy your own project, if you enjoy coming up with ideas that are interesting to you, this is the class to do it. So why not take something like that when you have all these options? And not a lot of schools are even available to have this. So it's nice to be able to have this at this high school.
I agree.
I'm glad.
I
It's
agree.
why we're making this project right now. Yep.
So how do you think other students will view you as? Do you find yourself easy to work with, or as maybe a fun teacher or fun coach?
I hope they buy into the benevolent dictator status that I have given myself. I think that they will find that I'm helpful and respectful, but also not afraid to come down on them when they need it. A little, tough love goes a long way.
Yeah. So,
Get your work done, Solomon. Get it done.
yes, sir.
Are you doing it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
How do you view the school and the staff here?
I think it's a great place to work. I feel certainly supported by my colleagues. Anytime I've had questions or needed help with anything, I know that there's always a teacher or 2 or 5 who I can go to who will certainly have the answers and be able to help me out with whatever I need. And I feel the same from the administration. It's nice to know that people have your back, and so if you've got a problem, if you have a conversation that you want to have, you know that people's doors are open. And so it's a good work environment. It's a good place to be.
Wow. So what do you think students will kind of just get out of your classes and volleyball coachings? What exactly do you want it to teach them?
So for the classes on just a basic level, I want them to be able to communicate. Right? Anything you do all your life, you're going to have to communicate and work together. So I want them to be able to have those kinds of skills. More specifically, I want them to be able to do good research, write good scripts, do good editing and video shooting as they progress through the different classes. On the volleyball basic level, I want them to be able to obviously have the skills necessary to succeed. I want them to win. I want to go to states and win the state championship. And so those are all kind of the superficial things, right? That's what we're here for. That's the basis of it. But I also want to have my students and my players just be good people. I want them to be able to have good morals, good judgment, be able to be people that other students and their friends can turn to for support and make sure that they're set for life. Because if you can do something like that now and you instill those kinds of values in teenagers and they can really embrace them, then I think they're going to be able to go a long way throughout the rest of their lives.
As a follow-up to that last question, what sort of job opportunities do you think your teachings and coachings will provide?
Yeah, so I mean the coaching one is less of a career-specific one. Obviously, some players could go on to play in college and then professionally after that. But on the teaching side, communication and marketing, those are huge areas of focus in the corporate world these days, right? Everyone's got social media coordinators, everyone's got advertising coordinators. And so if you can take these skills and put them to use there, I think that's great. And obviously the more straightforward paths of television production, film production, editing, those are clear ones, but there's a lot of tie-ins to different aspects of industry and different aspects of the corporate world as well.
So how do you believe that you've made an impact for your students so far?
It's hard to say. You'd have to ask them. I hope that I've instilled a love of learning. I hope I've instilled a love of having fun. I try to keep things light. I think that I've created a good work environment for the students in the class. But you're going to have to talk to them. I see it from the teacher side. I see it from behind the desk, if you will. But they're the ones who have to live it every day. So I can do everything I can do, and it looks like they're enjoying what they're doing and that they're getting what I hope they're getting out of it. But I think you go to the source, see what they have to say.
I agree, and I think you've made a big impact so far, personally.
Well, thank you.
And, well, I believe that's all the time we have for this edition on Social with Solomon, and I thank you, audience, for being here, and I thank you, sir, for joining me.
My pleasure.
I will tune in next. Hopefully everybody else will tune in next week for more insightful interviews with your favorite teachers and staff and students. And I'll see you next week. Take care.